Amongst other things, you're known for your elocution, you know. I know you are forever young, but as a teenager.
Well, I'm lucky. You know, when people say you're forever young, I laugh because, you know, people judge you by how long they've seen you on screen.
Right.
So they assume that you're as old as
the length of the career
yes,
or how long.
You understand. I don't bother trying to explain it. It doesn't make sense. So some people will see me and say, oh, you're aging gracefully. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You know what? You know what I mean?
Yes.
What happens to starting out early? But hey, the fact that I'm still here, February to be 25 years.
Yes, that's exactly
25 years. I came into the industry in 97, but I actually started acting 98. I had finished secondary school in 92. Right. You know, I was doing diploma at the time. I found myself, I didn't go out to look for movies. I just stumbled into it. I keep saying that.
Okay.
I didn't plan.
How did you stumble into it? I want to ask another question, but this is more interesting.
A friend of mine, Princess Bibiana,
okay.
My dad was very strict growing up. We hardly go out. So we had our playground in the house. Everywhere we had a property, we would have space enough for you to play. He doesn't like visitors. We don't. So we only go out when he's out of town. You need to sneak out and stuff like that. But he prefers that we're friends with people who he knows, like he knows your parents. So he knows, okay, my child is comfortable if he goes there, you know. So my dad and her dad were friends. So she came to visit and she was going for audition. No, she was going for rehearsals.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, because it's her. My dad was out of town, I could go. So I followed her. And I liked what I saw, but they were doing, they were extras and they were doing karate. So she's like, would you want to join? I said, which leg I want to do the karate? I can't, this is too violent for me. Can't they give me a speaking role? She said, no, they're done with auditioning. So I said, okay, tell me who is in charge. I could talk to them. He said, no, the guy is very strict. He's very strict. I'm just going to ask. It doesn't matter. It's a yes or a no. I learned that from my dad. Is it that you have it or you don't? Nobody dies from asking.
Yeah.
You know, so I walked up to the guy like, I'm so sorry, don't get upset. I would want to be tried, even if I don't get a part, it's fine. Then he looks at me and like, what's your name? I told him, okay, can you be here 10 a.m. tomorrow, no African time? I said, yes, sir. So the next day I came.
That's it?
Yes. And then they gave me, and you know, those days when you audition, you have like 2,000 people
of course,
vying for like 10 roles in a film. So you read openly. And when you read and people applaud you, that means you did well. Oh, that was, did you see that magic touch? I clapped on the line.
I love it. Yeah.
You know, so I came and I read and, you know, everybody was like, and then they gave me another part I read and like, come back tomorrow. I came back the next day and then they gave me the lead role. That's how I started acting.
And they gave you the lead role for a movie that had already finished audition. And
they were already rehearsing, yes. The movie had the likes of Charlie Boy at that time. He was going to play the Lord bad guy, you know, and then he had Jerry Amilo and some other people. And that was how I started acting. Now, the problem is, how do I tell my dad that I had started acting? That's a story for another day. But really, basically, that's how I got into acting.
So I say you set up the next question for me. How did you convince your dad?
It was difficult. He didn't want to hear it. Yeah. I mean, for a very long time we had, because I was already doing diploma at Unijust. You should go to school. And my dad always wanted me to be a lawyer. He felt I was going to make a very good lawyer.
That makes sense. I would see why.
And then it caused a whole lot of problems. And my mom was at the receiving end. Because she kept saying, have you prayed about it? Is this what you really want to do? If anything goes wrong, you will not forgive yourself. I'm like, I'm sure this is what I want to do. My dad would go and report me to the bigger, my family is very close-knit. Aunties, uncles, they kept calling me to say, my even name is Chioma, so my father calls me Chio.
Right.
Chio, this is not what I say. Everybody would say that, you say that. Over time, it took a long time, very long time.
Yeah.
I stopped being his girl.
Because you went ahead and followed the dream.
Yes, I did. Right. And you know what? I stopped going to school. And he was like, I'm not going to pay your school fees. I'm like, oh, good for me.
That is even good.
Yes, don't pay it. I'm going to act. And then I kept acting. But I kept telling him, I kept assuring him, I wouldn't embarrass you. At least not intentionally. I will not do anything that brings the family in. My dad is an Igbo chief. So you can imagine when the news broke, the way they say it in my language, it will look like abomination.
Abomination, yes.
She's what?
Yes.
Film.
Film.
The film. They had this impression about movie people.
Yes.
They thought they were rascals. They, you know, it was some high-class prostitution. Nobody had anything good to say.
Yeah.
But I kept pushing. I was loving what I was doing. And then I was making money. At that time, I would earn 25,000 naira. And then I went to 50,000 naira. And then, you know, but it wasn't so for the money.
The money was just an added
me,
benefit.
yes, it was just me loving. I always thought I was going to be a musician. I knew I was going to do music.
Right.
But I didn't see acting coming before music. I guess, you know, it was orchestrated.
Life is fascinating, isn't
That's it. You know, so it took a long time. Now, until after so many years, he will see my posters around, he will come home and get upset.
When he saw the posters,
yes,
they were giving the rest of us joy.
You keep embarrassing me. I see your face. Is it a good thing? No. It was driving him crazy. Why? Why? But over time, people started coming to my house to ask my father to please ask her daughter, me, please help my daughter. I want her to act. Huh? Don't you understand? I'm asking her to stop.
Leave.
Eh? Daddy, please let her not leave until she helps her. People will come to when he travels to the village, because he travels home a lot. People will come to say, Biko, let her take my. I think at that point he started believing like, okay, so this girl must be doing something good. And so far, 25 years, I've tried not to embarrass him like I promised. And I've made him proud, I'm sure.
And you made him
now, coupled with the music.
He's overjoyed.
I'm back to being daddy's girl.
We need you to subscribe, yo. And the reason is simple. The kinds of conversations, the kinds of words that we construct with our conversations on with Chude are driven by a vision of the kind of world I want to see. You know, you are the most important person in this entire ecosystem. You subscribing monthly. So do go ahead, subscribe. Ask somebody else to subscribe. Advise somebody else to subscribe. Refer to someone to subscribe. It matters, truly. Thank you as we continue to be human together. Thank you for joining our YouTube channel. I hope you loved that video and you connected with it. Don't forget, please subscribe, please like, please share with your friends and family. Please comment. We love to see your comments, and to see the full versions, join our community right now. All past episodes on watch.withchude.com. Let's be human together.